Ready. It's exciting. Getting nervous. Going on live.
Hey, everybody. Look who I have with me today.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Michael.
Basically, the two #1 movie streaming on. I woke up on Monday and there was Irish Wish as the #1 streaming film, and I thought, my friend Michael Damian and his wife Janeen Damian are coming on to talk with me, and they have the #1 film. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. We're really excited.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Did you
wake me back?
Yes. Did you wake up Monday morning and go, "Oh my God, we're what happened in your house?"
Well, it was St. Patrick's Day, right? Because the movie came out Friday.
No, so this is Monday the 18th. Monday the 18th, it was #1, right?
Saturday.
Actually, it went #1 Saturday.
Saturday.
Well, I woke up with Michael in the doorway doing a little happy dance, and then the phone starts dinging, and the phone's ringing.
Oh yeah, phones are ringing.
We're getting messaging, and
people are faxing us. I didn't even know we had a fax machine.
Of course, there's all the cast and crew are reaching out, and you got family and friends, and then and it was really fun. It was really exciting, and something that you hope and wish for, and you do your absolute best, and then when it actually comes to a realization, that's we just realized. What's the word?
The realization.
The realization.
The realizator, which is a French director, is called a réalisateur, right?
Réalisateur.
You, the realizator, realize the realization. But you know what? You have to pinch yourself, and it's you got St. Patrick's Day. That's why I just checked the phone again. Yeah, it's #1 still. Okay, good.
I did too. It was #1 still.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Yay.
That's what
there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Yippee.
So to set the stage back a minute, this film you both were producers on, but Janeen, you directed this, you wrote this, you wore all these hats.
Well, we did writing on it as directors, but Kristen Hansen is the writer of this one.
Okay.
Writer of record. And then, as filmmakers, you do the filmmaking polishes and passes, and you enhance stuff. You get with the cast, things start to, evolve, and
the locations change things.
Jokes start flying, and Lindsay comes up with great ideas, and the other talent comes. It's a collaborative effort to make something, really fun, and you want everybody involved. So,
Janeen, you directed this though.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So basically, if it didn't go to #1, it would have been her.
It's really on Janeen.
Yeah, but it did go to #1.
So. As you know, it takes a village. I didn't.
How does it feel?
I did not do this movie by myself. I had surrounded myself with incredibly talented people, starting with this one here.
I saw you just alone. You were there sitting in your chair, all alone. Action.
So you did this in Ireland. You filmed it in Ireland.
Yes, we shot the whole movie in Ireland, and that was really special. It's an amazing country. The people are spectacular. It's as stunning as it looks.
And with Lindsay Lohan, she had done a previous film with you.
Yes.
Right. And which was #1. Wasn't it #1 too?
Yes, it was #1
in the world.
In the world.
Yes, it was.
You worked with her again.
You had a lot of pressure, by the way, because you
had to deliver again.
You don't want to go, well, Falling for Christmas #1, Irish Wish #2. No,
it's
gotta
true.
go one. Otherwise, you just quit, right? Give up, pack it up, right, Michael?
Right. Now, how was working with Lindsay though? You said she was very collaborative with you on this project, or how?
Absolutely, and in the first movie, we were just getting to know each other. So it was a little bit of a learning process of how we work best together. And that worked out really well. The movie went #1, and we had a really good time on that one. And so Netflix came to us and said, well, let's keep the team going. And then this one was great because we started out already with a shorthand on how we work together, and with a friendship and a respect level that was different than the first one, and it was even better. And I think I think that she's on this trajectory as an artist, as in her career, but I think also her performance in this movie I think it's the best she's ever been. I think she's amazing in it.
Right. And I believe if I recall, you got a 3-picture deal. I remember this was part of a three-picture deal.
Yes, with Brad Cravoy and Motion Picture Corporation.
Which I was so excited to read about.
Yeah. Yes, and he produced Falling for Christmas and Irish Wish, and then we have something else that we're doing
Oh,
together.
and we also did Paris Christmas Waltz.
Well, actually, we've done 3 already,
Oh.
but we're doing a 4th.
No, but we expanded the
We're busy.
we expanded the 3-picture deal to a 4th picture.
But Michael directed Paris Christmas Waltz.
Yes, but we're gonna expand the deal.
Now, you two got married in 1998,
Yes.
Yes, 1990.
right? So where in the trajectory of your relationship and professional careers did you decide, like, we're going to be, producing films, and where did that all come into play?
Well, that actually happened after we got married, pretty much
Yeah.
right after we got married. We were married in France.
Yeah.
And Michael is really well known in France as
We.
the Danny Romalotti on Young and the Restless. It plays
Janeen.
time there. And we thought, wow, it would be really fun to work here. And why don't we come up with something and write something? Well, Michael actually came up with this idea. Why don't we write something for him as a vehicle to star in? And that's how we started.
We wrote and developed a pilot with the French network TF1. We spent we were there at least 3 years. And what happened was we were having trouble finding a director. We wanted to get an American director because it was shot in English, and we wanted, sort of that Americana stamp, with France.
For the pilot. It was a
For
pilot.
the pilot to sell internationally. And so we were just having trouble finding a director for the project. And then our French partners, called us in for a meeting. They said, "We have the perfect director for you." My French accent's terrible, by the way. I apologize.
No,
I'm trying. He's fantastic. And who is it? It's you, Michael. You will direct the pilot. So, and I had experience, we did a short film together called Finders Keepers, bought a couple film cameras, 16mm cameras, been shooting, just to learn our craft. Everything, and editing system. And we've been cutting stuff together, but not planning to jump right into the director chair so quickly, especially a pilot that I was starring in. So
that was a hefty.
But what was
That's
great,
a lot, right?
That was a hefty first outing for him.
Yeah.
And he's amazing.
And we wrote it.
And he's so smart, though, that he really did he did a phenomenal job, and he really can take on a lot, because Michael can wear a multitude of hats, and he does all of them really well. So no, it's true. He's a very multifaceted artist.
Well, which I think is great, because I think, so many, certainly in the soap opera world, I don't know, they're becoming more aware of it, right? Because of things, I don't think they're, like, they know him as Danny, like he's Danny, and a singer and a musician. So it's like, I think it's great that, more and more of the success is coming to light. 17 films you've done together?
I think if you count the short
15?
film, it's either 16, it's somewhere, let's do another count.
Yeah, I think with this one, it's 16, and the short film will be 17. Yes.
Yeah, so
it's between films and a television pilot, and a short film.
Film, which still counts as a film project.
What is the secret, since you're married, working together and not getting into get the tension of the creative? Like, do you have those moments and you have to walk away for a moment and come back and talk about it, or is it all swimmingly easy?
Is this at home or is this on the set? If it's at home,
Either way.
If you're at home, you open up a bottle of champagne, or you open up, some really great wine, and then
some charcuterie and some cheese, and then all of a sudden we
just
over a baguette.
You start talking about food, and you're like, wait a minute.
No, obviously, if there's going to be anybody tense, it's going to be me, and he's the.
I have a good joke for Janeen. I always yell on the set, "All right, everybody, tense up!" Because
Michael has such a great sense of humor. He likes to he keeps it light, and that's really helps, because we sort of have a little bit of a yin and yang. You can't both have the same personality. Usually that ends up being a clash. So I think we complement each other in our work. So, and we have the same vision. In the end, we really share the same sensibilities.
That's the goal. I think the goal is to because movie making is so complicated. There's so many moving parts, and so many personalities. And as filmmakers, the goal is to manage and to bring all these wonderful creative personalities together,
and to inspire them,
and to be in a harmonious environment and make something special that is memorable. And so that's really, as filmmakers, that's our job. So we're always just trying to figure out, how can we get everybody to be their best, and what can we do to make it great for them? Because it's all about the actors, you know. I have to say,
The actors and the heads of the department and your team.
yeah,
you know,
but then we boil it down to action. Those few moments on camera, right? That's really what it's all about.
that has to be magic.
Yeah.
So really, when you think about it, we're not working by ourselves. When we write, we are working by ourselves. And in post-production, we're by ourselves quite a bit. But in the nitty-gritty, get down and make the movie,
We're running around.
we have where there's a million different people and artists with so many phenomenal, you know, ideas and things, and everybody has to be heard and everybody needs to be managed, and you want to be able to maximize their talent because everybody is so immensely talented. Netflix gives us huge support and lets us hire really amazing people, so we're really fortunate there. So therefore, there's really not a lot of time for us to be fighting. We're always just excited.
And just,
you know, we love making movies.
We also, I think, also really try to push each other to be better and to go to the next level. You know what I mean? We're always trying to, you know, okay, we were here the last one. How can we elevate now? What can we do? Let's go. Let's push it a little further. You know what I mean? Let's go a step further. And I think that's kind of how we've been. That's how Janeen was with her dance. So disciplined, and that's why you're so disciplined, because with a ballerina getting a scholarship at 15, moving to New York City from Jackson, Mississippi. Come on, who does that at 15?
Come on.
I'd have been terrified alone in New York. I mean, I love New York. It's not scary now.
We're not.
You know, it was scary back then. It's not
15 years old.
Now it's not scary. It's awesome.
You got a lot of responsibilities, and you're so well trained and work with all these.
How did the two of you meet?
Well,
it's a long story.
We have two versions. Okay, there's the long version. How long is your show?
Well, we're 45 minutes because you have.
Okay, I think that we'll barely make it to the end. No, but we have two versions. Okay, do you want my version first?
Well, your version.
I'll do short.
Mine and the alt version.
Okay, I'm gonna do really quick, so I don't want to bore people that watching. Your audience are like, oh my god, I gotta get off this show. Why Michael's driving me crazy. So I was invited by the Children's Miracle Network back in 1983, and they had those telethons, and they were held at the Osmond Studios, and that's where they produced the Children's Miracle Network telethons. They had a chartered plane every year. It flew from LA to Provo, and all celebrities were on the plane. And so I was invited to sing, and brought my family as my band, and I was going to also host. And I get on the plane, and I see this beautiful, fabulous thing sitting next to Roscoe P. Coltrane for the Dukes of Hazzard, and he's like, he's like this, and I'm like, oh, Roscoe's got such a great-looking young girlfriend, a lot younger girlfriend. Anyway, fade out, fade back up. I'm with my brother, and he says, hey, so what do you think of that solid gold dancer? I'm like, the one on the plane with Roscoe, she's with the guy from the Dukes of Hazzard. He's like, you idiot, that's her dad. So I was like, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna go get her phone number then. Of course, I didn't get it because I couldn't find her. That's another story. That's when I come back to part 2 on your show. Okay, that'll be the
return.
So my version is much more like a soap opera. Okay. I'm sitting there with my father, and we're joking and laughing, and and I look up, this gorgeous. This vision comes out, steps onto the plane, and in my mind, it's just like all of a sudden the fans blow and his hair is going. It's la 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 la, and he walks past me, and I'm just in awe. And I looked to my father and I went, "Who is that?" Because I was a dancer and a ballerina, and I didn't get a chance to watch anything, and so I was clueless. And so I'm now spending the rest of the time trying to figure out who that gorgeous man was.
What did your dad say?
He said he didn't.
He didn't say how he did it.
He said, I don't know. Because he's busy doing, he was busy working too all the time.
You get a care less who I was.
So anyway, everybody else knew who he was, and it didn't take me long to figure it out. But anyway, that was my version. Is that
you figured it out, you knew who he was. Right.
Yes.
And then somehow you two like exchange a phone number, like how?
No,
we ended up.
No, I went to a birthday party 3 months later at Voilà's,
and the paparazzi
were out there taking pictures, and I came in and I looked over and I yelled across the paparazzis. I go, "Hey, you! I've been looking for you!" And they're all going, and then I went over there and I gave her a little dip, for the photographer.
For the paparazzis.
It ended up in the National Enquirer.
Yeah, so then
dating, and she had a boyfriend, and her boyfriend saw it, and oh God. Anyway,
It all ended up good in the end.
Part
Just-
two will
We,
be
we all lived
next week.
happily ever after.
Part two of this will be next week, right here on the Michael Fairman Channel.
You see, you didn't know what you were getting into. You
No,
No,
asked
it's a great story, but
anyway.
Never a dull moment here.
so you went to the theater, you told me. You went to the theater to see your film, to see Irish Wish
Oh yeah,
Yes, on Saturday.
Well,
on
this-
Saturday. So
Yeah.
what was that like?
Well, the thing is that the premiere in New York, by the way, that Netflix put together was epic, and 700 fans in the theater, crazy. It was paparazzi. It was so much fun. But
But Netflix was there, all the stars were there.
we
It was
really
a
didn't
lot of
really.
pressure.
We didn't know. We just didn't really. It wasn't like, oh, let's enjoy the movie just to see what it's like. It was too chaotic, right? So,
But they did have a great reaction, which was really,
it was amazing. No, it was. I loved it.
that was a big relief.
I loved it, but you couldn't eat popcorn, and that's the thing. You gotta have popcorn when you see a movie. So when Netflix now put it in the theater, at the Cinema Pacific Palisades, the Bay Theater, for a week, we said, let's go Friday night and let's get the family and some friends, popcorn, and do it right. You know what I mean? Where you can, let loose. And it was just really fun just to kick back with family and friends, and our producing partner, Brad Kavory, was there, and our editor, who didn't get a chance to make it to the premiere in New York. And
It was more relaxed, and it was really fun to get a chance to watch
Yeah.
it with everybody. And then it
so
sort
other
of
people were in the theater. It was great. I was like, who are those? And I'm like, yes, I'm like,
Listening.
oh yeah, I think they laughed. Oh, good.
it started to creep in of what, we're so fortunate to do what we do and to have the opportunities to make the movies that we make, and for it to have success. This is having great success, and we really want to soak in and take in the moment, because this doesn't always happen, and it really is something special. And everybody worked so hard on this film, and we're really proud of it, and proud of all of our team, all of our cast, everybody. So to be able to have a chance to just take a moment to be excited about it is just it's a privilege.
And then the soundtrack.
Oh,
First,
yeah.
Michael, you have the theme song in this,
Well,
right? Are we
it's
calling it?
it's just a song. Actually, we have. What happened was I sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. You were doing your.
Go ahead. No, I love this.
I want to hear it sound like it was going to be really juicy, and I cut you off. Tell me about my song.
I was gonna say now, but I was gonna say, but what Wild Irish Heart, right?
Yeah, that's the name of Wild Irish Heart. It was written. I wrote. My brother and I. We wrote this and produced a track years ago, and we forgot that we'd done this. And then Janeen, we're editing the movie. We have this scene in the pub at Scruffy Murphy's, and she said, "Well, you know what? What about that song Wild Irish Heart? You should, And we could not find the masters to the song, so we re-recorded the entire track, re-sang it.
Which ended up being great, because it's really cool. And after we had spent so much time in Ireland, Michael came back with a lot of influence from the way that they play live music, and
So we have all live players on the track.
It's a little bit of a different feeling, and it's a little bit grittier, it's a little bit more raw, and a little bit more folk, and
than the original.
and it's really authentic. So it's really cool, and it's a very cool vocal that he did as well.
Thank you.
It is a cool vocal. That's what I really liked
It's a
about
little
it.
different. They're different than the way he,
It is.
Wild Irish Heart, I will always love you.
It was different, Janine. That's what I thought. It was like, it was great in that way. And you did it at Studio City Sound.
And drink Irish whiskey, and your throat gets that nice sound, and it works really well. So no, I didn't drink any Irish whiskey.
And I was telling Michael, I recorded my new single in January.
I know.
we want to hear your single.
Well, my stuff, mine's coming out in May.
Great.
Oh, okay.
Great.
My other stuff is on Spotify. My other singles are on Spotify under my name.
Fantastic.
But my new single that I recorded at Studio City Sound will be out.
I can't wait. Yeah, it's such a great place. My brother Tom.
Tom is so great.
Grammy award-winning producer, engineer.
Tom Ware.
He's recorded everybody from Rod Stewart, No Doubt, Eric Clapton, the great Michael Fairman. I mean, it's just, the list goes on and on and on.
It was a great place to work. He was wonderful. I think we stayed late. He helped. It was
Get
great.
used to it. Yeah,
It's always late there.
It's
yeah,
always
but
But
late
we do a
there.
lot of we do a lot of the music for our films.
yeah, we did a lot of songs.
at
And
his studio.
Aliana, why don't you tell them Aliana?
Lindsay's sister Aliana has
Lohan has
songs.
she has two
Yeah,
songs,
really
and
good.
and her she has the end credit song.
Yeah, it's
which is
really
really
great called
cool.
Coming Home. It's her stuff sounds fantastic. So, and I see that the soundtrack with the score written by the amazing Nathan Lanier, produced, written, and conducted. He's extraordinary. I hope you enjoyed the music as much as
He's just such
it's
a
it's
brilliant,
I
brilliant
thought it was
composer.
great. I listened to the whole and there isn't Earth, Wind, and Fire on there with September.
yeah, we got Earth, Wind &
Yeah.
Fire, David Bowie, Let's Dance, Adam Ant,
Goody Two Shoes.
Goody Two Shoes.
We
Yeah,
have some really interesting Irish artists, some
Yeah.
young UK bands.
yeah,
And then I think we have a couple of songs from Nathan that
yeah.
original
He
songs
wrote the theme.
original.
Do you remember the pub scene, the dance when they dance in the pub together?
Yes.
Yes,
That's our
the
composer.
wrote that.
Wrote that Irish jig. He actually wrote that right away when he first read the script. He sent that was like the first thing he sent us, and we thought, oh, this is going to be great when Janeen gets a hold of those Irish dancers. It's going to be
I
amazing.
guess I was most surprised because I saw that you had the song, Michael, and of course I listened to it, and then I went and saw the whole, track list for this, and I went, this is really great. I just wasn't expecting that, right? But
And I think that we have to hand it to Netflix because they really push that. It's like, well, give us your wish list. Tell us what you want. And they really try to work with you
They
to
support the filmmakers
to
maximum.
get you everything that you want. Is music is one of those big things, because a lot of times by the time that you get around to your post-production and your music budget, that's when it's
That's when you go.
you're in vapors.
That's when you're like, gee, maybe we don't have as much money as we thought, but man, it's so incredible. Yeah.
Morgan in the chat, it says, you guys are so fashionable. Give me some tips.
Fashionable? I'm just wearing a gray shirt and a
It's
black
cashmere though.
t-shirt
It's nice.
It's
Likes this.
Cashmere.
that's a Helmet Lang t-shirt though.
Oh, all right. I don't know
You're
who that
right.
is.
Anyway, it's
I don't know what mine is.
I have
either.
my own
I'm
special designer.
It's cold
so-
here, so I'm wearing a sweater.
But are you guys do you pay attention to fashion?
Well, we do, because in filmmaking, it's really important in every movie. So we're always working with the costume designers and always trying to stay up on trends, so that when you're dressing your characters, that you're authentic to whatever is happening. So it is something that we do pay attention to. And Michael's on camera all the time, so he has people dressing him.
So I have a lot of Gucci bags.
Young and the Restless. So he always gets to come home with something cool.
And
I don't take stuff home.
No, I tell him, I said, what you need to do is whatever you like that you wear, just buy it and then bring it home. And then now you've got your wardrobe.
I go home to you. Here's what I do now. When they give me something really cool, I get a snapshot of the label or our fabulous costumer on the show. He gets, sends me a picture.
It's true.
I give it to Janeen. I said, here's what it was.
And then I go online and
here's what it is. Can you go get me one, please?
I don't have a stylist like he does.
Yeah, so
okay, this is done.
I'm working on it. Thank you.
I have to work harder.
Who was in the chat room. By the way,
Morgan asked this.
Hi, Morgan.
So
Are
fashionable.
we supposed to be able to see the chats?
Are we supposed to?
You don't see the chat.
Oh, well, you can interpret the chats for us.
Michael, was I supposed to send out a blast on Twitter saying that we're on right now live, or am I delinquent?
You could have. You're delinquent, but I did it earlier.
Okay, did you do it? And I can read.
You can retweet it.
Okay. Well, what else is everybody saying?
So here's a question for Michael. One of my favorite episodes of The Young and the Restless was you and Cricket spending time at the beach in Hawaii. Do you have any memories from this episode?
I would say probably the most would be the terrifying helicopter sequence. I'm not joking you. I'm not joking.
I'm thinking about it.
Probably the most scared that I've ever been in my entire life, because there was high turbulence and they're shooting with another helicopter across, and I was really terrified, actually, and praying. And so people were like, "Oh, it looks so great." I was like, "Oh no, if you only knew, really, I was going to pass out, actually." And I was just
We don't do
helicopters.
No helicopters. I retweeted it.
They're dangerous. I don't know.
Now, Michael, on Y&R, you see currently, Danny, it seems like Phyllis and Christine are both wanting him. And it's
Can you blame
reigniting.
him? I mean,
It's a fun triangle story that they're having, and it's really fun because what it is it's very retro, and I think it's fun to bring that it's fun to bring that nostalgic retro thing back, you know?
I love the scene. There was a scene where you're in the room. Danny's in the room.
Yes.
Phyllis and he walks out on them.
Yeah.
you walked out.
No, yeah.
And you just leave them fighting?
They're fighting, they're arguing, and I'm like, listen, I'm over here going, stop it, really seriously, please stop it. And then they don't stop. And so I just grab my coat, I pick up my sheet music because I was working on a song. I go to the door, I even look back to see if there's noticing me leave, and then I just left.
And then what happened?
They're still fighting, and they
just kept fighting like they don't even realize that the guy that they're fighting about left the room and left.
then they go, and then they say,
that's actually good writing.
well, they say this.
That's cute.
They went, oh, let's
like it.
look, ask Danny. Danny, where is it?
That's really.
Do you guys not?
That actually could happen.
Huh?
Do you guys not laugh in these scenes, or do you get through them okay?
That one was pretty funny, I'll be honest. I think that was pretty funny. I was laughing out in the hallway when I left because I was thinking, should I slam the door? But then if I slam the door, they still have dialogue. They're still talking about, and then they say, oh, well, let's ask him. He's right. You ask him, and then whatever. But so if I slam the door, they would have turned, and then it would have ruined it. So I just gently closed the door.
Oh,
and left.
There was another moment that was really touching, if you Michael, when it was Laura Lee Bell's 40th anniversary episode, and at the end, it's Danny playing the piano, and she just comes and puts her.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
It was like there they were, Danny and Christine together.
Yeah. It was a fun, yeah.
It was a poignant kind of moment, the way it played, editing. Do you remember?
Yes, absolutely. And then the jazz club, and I think that the show, it's been really, I think what they're doing is so smart, and they're reconnecting a lot of the fans to a lot of the story. I mean, we're talking years and years of story, and I think it's really fun I'm really glad they did the thing on the piano, because people have been asking, why are you not doing any music? Why are you not singing? Where's your band? You know what I mean? Janeen is asking the same thing. Why aren't you singing something on the show? And I was like, so by the way, the last time I sang on the show was when we thought Phyllis was dead. So, that didn't count.
It doesn't count.
No, because it's a memorial, and she was there. Do you remember that?
That does count.
Well, but did you know she was there watching in a disguise?
She had a little pillbox hat.
Yeah, exactly.
I pay attention to the fashion.
Honey, I'm really impressed.
It was like a little veil and a page boy. Yeah,
I love it.
Janeen, do you have who do you think Danny should ultimately be with?
Me.
Are you
I didn't hesitate, did I?
You want to think about that?
Would you want him with Christine or Phyllis or none of them?
I think a priesthood.
I think
the priesthood is probably the best thing for.
You know what? I think those writers are doing a really great job over there, and I love what they're coming up with for him. So I wouldn't even venture to say
It's so complicated. It's so hard to write that show. I don't know. To come up with the. I mean, they're so creative and inventive to come up with all that, because that's a lot of stuff to come. I mean, 5 days a week. We're just trying to do a movie.
We're just trying to do an hour and a half story.
Something that's, compelling. So we have a lot of respect. And I think we have more respect. Well, we had respect back then, but don't you think we have more?
I do. I think that it really, it really hits home to us exactly it's a huge workload.
Yeah.
It's a huge workload that they're doing over there, and they're really doing phenomenal writing. I think that the show's better than ever. Actually, I think it's sounding really great,
and it's doing really well. It's #1, and so it's awesome. And
they just got picked up.
Yeah, it just got picked up for 4 more years. And most importantly, the show has been really super flexible with me and with our wild journey of filmmakers.
And we know how hard that is, because people asking us to be flexible, and and that's not fun.
Oh no.
So whenever he asks, we always kind of feel bad, but at the same time, because they're flexible, that they're able to work him in where normally they wouldn't. So it works out for everybody.
It's been really great, because normally right.
Michael, were you originally going to be on a shorter amount of time and it's gone on longer? this time, or?
Wh-
It was just, it was,
I think it was just, look, it
we
was
didn't
sort of
really know.
it was sort of a, let's just see how it goes and just give us your schedule, let us know what's going on, and we'll keep talking. And when you're, gearing up to go somewhere, because most of the time Janine and I do make our movies out of the country. We shot in Ireland, we shot
In Paris, the
Paris,
one before.
Romania, we
We're
shot
in Europe
Canada.
usually.
So we're kind of all over the place, but they've been incredibly supportive. And
I think because they've been so flexible that
Yeah.
he's been able to do a little
Yeah.
bit longer stint.
exactly,
Because-
normally you'd say, give me this timeline to commit to. I need to know it, otherwise you're out. You know what I mean? And we understand it, by the way, but just so you know, because when we're making movies, when we have this window, and certain an actor or somebody might say, well, this is before they're hired, of course, well, they do have something that they need to do in the middle. We're like, oh, wait, what do you mean in the middle? Well, like, no, because, well, we try to make it work, right? We can,
Yes.
but we'd rather them not. We want them to stay with us the whole time.
We're saying how great Y&R is about doing it, so that's
Oh no, I'm talking about
us. You're saying that we don't.
No,
You know what? If it means having to fly to another country, and usually it does with an actor, it's usually we're in Romania and they have to fly to London, and then that makes it difficult. But sometimes it does work. No, we do try to be flexible because we know what it feels like.
Yeah, that's
So
all.
I think all of us, filmmakers, try to help each other out.
When you watched the Oscars this year, did you watch the Oscars?
Yes.
I was talking to some of the other people I recently interviewed on here about, actors. And I'm like, when you watch the Oscars, does it inspire you? I'm not even talking about whether the show is good, but
Absolutely.
as filmmakers, right?
Yep.
As performers, doesn't it? Because I feel the same way. Like it's always that inspiring evening, whether there's high or low points. But I want to know what your take is on that, from you guys.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it really hits home when you see how emotional people are. Then you realize what the journey was getting there, and how meaningful it is. And it just it reminds us of how meaningful it is that we are in this business and that we have the opportunity to be making movies. And also, we're fans as well. And when you get up when you watch them and they tell stories of how they got there and how hard and the trials and tribulations and the challenges, and that they made it, and their families and their relationships with just with everybody. It is a family when you're making a movie. And you get close, and it's so meaningful when your audience responds to what to all the hard work. So.
And just when you hear that "Hooray for Hollywood," come on, right? When you hear that theme song, it's like the magic of the movies. The reason why we're doing what we do, Janine and I, is that it's the magic of filmmaking. That's just something that you felt it when you first went in that, sat in that theater. You felt that magic. It's something that's so.
Well, I know, and also on the flip side, this is very random, but what happened is, so during COVID, I actually was in a movie, playing a part in a movie. I was cast in this movie, didn't expect it. It was kind of like a Groundlings, very comics parody thing. And I hadn't done, I used to act years ago when I was like 18, 19. Then I went into music, and then I went into this whole soap opera thing. I had a weird, curvy career. But I finally went back in front of the camera, did this part. I had no expectation. I didn't know what it would be. I was just like, it was the best experience I've had. I enjoyed it so much. I realized what I missed, and I thought, oh, this is going to stink when people see it. It's going to be horrible. We were in a movie theater, and it went over, like, people were laughing, and it went over really well. And I was like, this is fantastic. And I so appreciated, like, this was an independent film and everybody working so hard and collaboratively together to put this together, and just a collaborative process. And these guys had written this film and they got the funding, and it's just such a process for a lot of people to get it even off the ground than to get it anywhere. And I so appreciated that whole journey of what they had to do.
It's so true. And I think that when we're watching the Oscars and you see that the people in the upper echelon, they're all feeling the same way. We all feel the same way about this business. It's a special place to be.
And we're very fortunate and have had, great luck, great fortune, and a lot of wonderful things, a lot of wonderful breaks that a lot of people have yet to get or never got, which is a shame. But we just, we're so grateful and appreciative that we've been able to do what we've been able to do.
What do you remember? I just have to ask the rock on question. It was such a phenomenon, that thing. What do you remember now looking back? It's like you had the #1 song.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? And now reflecting on it, is it what you thought it was now looking back on it? Or were you like, what the hell? Oh, how that was such a whirlwind.
Oh no, it's kind of like an athlete. I really want to win an Olympic gold medal. So
I mean, it was a really big moment.
So
it was
and
really big.
that was my growing up. I want to be a rock singer. I want to have a #1 record.
A gold, and you got the gold medal.
I want to have
the gold record.
Yeah, I want the gold records on the walls.
Heck, yeah.
That was like a dream. But to have it on the #1 while I'm doing the #1 soap opera, that was a double.
And it went #1 on MTV, which
And
at
it was
the time, MTV music video, you're getting #1 video.
The #1 music video was really so. It was just
It was
all
a
those
trifecta.
Yeah, all those wonderful, driving dreams that pushed me to be where I am today. That was really what was motivating me, and I was like, oh gosh, that would be so incredible. That would be the dream to have that happen. So, yeah, it happened, and just so grateful. And my brothers Tom and Larry, produced that with me at Studio City Sound.
Such an amazing family of, I mean, you guys are all so talented. I was just like, were you always like this together as brothers, or like what?
Well, I have 6 sisters, two brothers. There's 9 of us, and we're a musical family. And my mother was a concert pianist who taught everybody in the family music, and then everybody branched off to their own instruments and vocalizing and singing and with the choir. And then we had a family band, so everything was. We were the Partridge Family, Brady Bunch. Not a cool bus like the Brady Bunch, but or the Partridge Family.
Partridge Family.
They didn't have a bus.
No, you're right.
Partridge Family, didn't they?
Partridge Family did. The Brady Bunch, did they sing?
They thought they could sing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think they had a Wagoneer.
I thought they did. They thought they could sing.
They had some episodes where they were like doing.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
they did it like a
more
live.
like the Osmond
right?
family. More like the Osmond family.
Yeah.
It was more like the Osmond family.
The Osmond family can sing.
Oh yeah. What am I talking about that they can't
You're
sing?
talking about the bus.
Oh, the bus.
That they don't have one.
I think that the Partridge, who had the bus?
The
Partridge.
Partridge family had the bus.
Partridge
Yeah,
family.
the Brady Bunch had a Grand Wagoneer.
Yeah, they had a country Wagoneer. That's right. Thank you, honey, for putting me in check. I really
Do you miss it? Then do you ever want to get up and do a concert, or that's a whole thing?
I thought we were going to do it tonight on your show.
I did ask him
I was
this.
like,
Are we ready to do it?
rock and roll, rock on. I was like ready. I was warming up my voice in my wild Irish
Don't you
heart.
think he should do a concert?
I will always love you.
I literally
Get the
do. I
mic
was
to
thinking
different-
like we should get him, and he needs to do a show.
I'm ready.
We have to rehearse. The problem is that you got to find the time for him to rehearse and get the band and the thing and the venue and
Yeah,
But it would be amazing,
Ready.
wouldn't it?
let's do it.
I think it'd be amazing.
They're saying triple threat Damian.
I'm ready.
And,
All right, we're gonna do it in the middle of our movie shoot.
while you're in Romania. So what's next? Where are we next? Are we shooting something? You don't have to say, but
We're gonna retire pretty much after
No,
this.
you're not.
You gotta leave at the top, right? No, just kidding. We're just
can't-
getting started.
Well, we can't say yet, but there's something really fun.
We got something brewing that's heating up. That's very exciting. Actually, yeah. So we're excited about that. We can't say that's terrible. Why did we even say anything? Because it's.
there's going to have to be a part 2 and a part 3.
There you go.
I guess what it is
It's the anticipation.
we said, "Gee, Michael, really, we have nothing. We're not doing
It's like,
anything."
God, we don't know what we're doing.
Then you'd probably say, "Wait a minute, they need a new agent." So, no,
Well,
we're ready.
We're gearing up.
We're gearing up. We're gearing up. We got something pretty awesome. Can't wait to announce it, and it'll be announced, soon.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Janeen, what is your favorite hat to wear in all this? Is it directing, producing, co-writing? What do you love? What is your thing?
Dancing.
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 too?
Dancing.
So you're going to dance in the concert that Michael does.
There we go.
face. Oh, God, get those solid gold.
You know, I
outfits
actually,
back out.
I know that Michael gets asked this question a lot too, because he wears way more hats than I do. But I
Yeah,
don't,
what do you like doing?
I don't really have a favorite hat because we do all of it. I mean, I just would say like filmmaker, because we kind of, we end up doing all of it in every movie, in some way, I mean, Michael and I just work together on everything. So,
Yeah.
I don't think I can separate them out. I will say this though, that writing is really fun. We really do have a great time writing, and that's really different from the rest of the filmmaking process, because we're just coming, it's like you got that blank page and the ideas are firing, and you can just basically make up anything you want.
It's very
So
creative.
it's really, that's a really fun process, and it's really great to get to do that, and then to actually make it and see it become a reality.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
We were
And
just talking about that just driving today. We were talking about do you remember when we wrote A Princess for Christmas, for instance? We were in Newport, Rhode Island, and we were going to all the mansions in Newport Island for inspiration. And we wrote that script there, and then we made the movie. And and then we same thing with Sweeter Side of Life.
we went to Hoboken, New Jersey.
Yeah, I made a joke about Hoboken, New Jersey, and
remember when we went there for research?
I wasn't joking about. I was just like, I just love that name, Hoboken.
Because that movie takes place
It's
in
just
New
such
Jersey.
a cute name. It's so cute. I love it. And so I thought, remember we went there and then we wrote Sweetest Side of Life, and we sat in Central Park, worked on and finished the script there in Central Park. People were, walking by, and kids and picnics, and bicyclers, and that, and then we made the movie. So I think
it's because that's where it starts.
Yeah.
The whole
just
idea.
see it actually, like you said, the realization of it, coming together is really very special.
And
From fade in
It's really
to,
fun when the very first page, and it's just blank.
I know it scares her, by the way, just so you know. And she goes, I say, well, she's like, I go, what are you doing? She's like, well, what do you want to start? I go, start with fade in. And she goes, fade in,
But
Does
think
that
about
have-
it,
and then you
You
go.
have to fade in and you go, right?
And then
You
you're
have
off
to-
to
and
the
then it's
races.
like, now where are we?
But it
And
looks
they're
like you guys have found the formula that works, right? In your filmmaking, in your storytelling, in your films. It's a formula that is working with the audiences, right? It's finding that, wouldn't you say?
I think we're just doing what we love.
We try to
All the movies that I think about all the movies that you and I love. We're talking about them. Love Actually,
Oh,
French Kiss, Serendipity. What are the other romantic comedies? Moonstruck. All the greats.
we're inspired by things that we see, and
Yeah.
and there's so many amazing filmmakers out there telling such beautiful stories.
Yeah.
I think the formula that we do try to do is that we try to find a way to take the audience on a journey and have them feel inspired and happy
And happy at the end. Yeah.
when they're done.
Yeah.
right.
That they feel better than when they started. That
Yeah.
that it's moved them in some way. If they've laughed, if they cry, if they're
Put a smile on their face.
yeah. So I think
We've done our job. Yeah.
Two last questions for you, Michael. They're asking in the chat. What has it been like having Michael Graziadei back?
Oh, I love Michael Graziadei. He's so wonderful. Plays my son Daniel Romalotti.
Romalotti.
I love him so much, and he calls me Dad.
he sends him really cute
I
texts.
call
He's
him
like, "Hey,
son.
Dad, looking
He
good."
doesn't call me. He doesn't call me Michael, and I don't call him Michael. I say son. He writes Dad. And in our texts to each other, when our phone calls on the set, he's such a wonderful talent, and I love him, and have such a great time working with him.
And then Tracy Bregman, you guys, you get to share some scenes together.
Oh, Tracy's so
Think
awesome.
about Beth Maitland and Tracy and the whole.
Yeah, Tracy and Beth. Oh, they're
Yeah.
so wonderful, and just great people I've known for a long time, and they're wonderful. And I'm so excited to have a chance to do some. I did a scene. I just worked with Beth Maitland actually the other day, and that was really fun. I can't wait for people to see that show.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you.
today.
Thank
Everybody
you.
check out Irish Wish, the #1
Yes.
film on Netflix.
Yes.
and the soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
In my wild Irish heart, I will always love you. Always love you.
And keep your eye out for the concert.
Yeah, keep your eye out for the concert.
And the dance. Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe we should do it in Las Vegas where we live. I think that would be perfect, don't you think? Michael Damian live, Las Vegas, one night only, 6 nights only. Let's see how the
Are
one
we
night goes.
Resident.
Let's see how the one goes.
Residency?
If the one show goes, if
If
the one show goes well, then we'll up it to 2, and if the 2 goes well, we'll go to 3.
We'll up it to 3. Okay.
Yeah, Janeen's dancing.
And then we'll do it in the sphere.
Table
in the
dance.
sphere.
Solid gold. The sphere is great.
Yeah.
Great. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. And I will see you
Thanks for having
soon.
us.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well,
Thanks,
take care, buddy.
everybody. Bye-bye.